Jigweave, Martasha for What to Go May. Hello, Ray. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're all doing well. God bless each and every one of you. So, I hope that there is no buffering issues or anything like that. Hope everything's alright. I think I fixed them problems, figured out what the problem was. Now, I've got a new microphone foam head thing. Hopefully, the green screen doesn't affect it too much. See, it's kind of... This overlay is kind of covering it over. We've got to try and fix that. Fit it up a bit higher there, look. So you kind of says shielding the hair on it there. But, see, maybe if I put a book underneath it. Never thought of that. So you can get to see the logo. Is that any better there? Still a wee bit higher is really what we need. Something else. Another book. How about that? Is that any better there? Still, see the green screen. See, this is green and it's affecting the green screen, but whatever. We'll see how that is there. So, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Niall McConnell, coming in live from Castlefin, County Donegal. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. So, how's everybody doing? We're getting very close to Christmas now. The birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They're trying to remove anything that ascertains to Christianity. You know, they're trying to rename Christmas lights in Dublin as winter lights. You know, you see this thing happen in America first. You know, they say a happy holidays instead of saying happy Christmas. And, you know, that's coming into Ireland now. So, you know, Christmas lights are now turning into winter lights. But the people of Ireland don't like that. You know, whether people, you know, identify as religious or not, they don't like that. So we're seeing that more and more often, but people are pushing back, and I think Dublin Council have reversed that decision to call it winter lights. So let me go to the live chat to see how everybody is doing. Good evening, Patriot, says Reno. Good man. Thanks for joining us, Reno, and thanks for moderating. Sean Mack, how's it going? Good man yourself. Who else is in there? 3-0. Good to see you. Michael O'Sullivan, what about you? Age of something ran. Good to see you too. All these strange and weird and wonderful names in the live chat. Who else have we got here? A Mad Irishman. Good to see you. Still brings 62. Good to see you. Michael Green, how's it going? True 90. What about you? So it's good to see so many people in the live chat already. Hampton Park, great day. Don't know what you're on about there. So hopefully the live chat is working okay. The live stream is working okay. So good stuff, everybody. So look, lots to discuss tonight. We've got lots of videos, lots of articles to talk about. So lots going on in Ireland as usual, you know. Never ends, does it? And I've seen they're trying to, well, there's another application for another mosque in Clondalk in Dublin, and we're going to be trying to get that stopped as well. It just seems to be never ending. The Islamification of Ireland continues. And did you see that what happened in Australia? A mass shooter killed 10 people today. You know? So we'll be talking about that in tonight's show. So before we get into tonight's action, we're going to say our Lord's Prayer as Gaeilge. So please join me. Nanya manahar gzavek or spirit neve. Amen. Ar nyahar atar now, go ni for Daniel, go dagda de rate, go nyanter de holler and talif mar yanter now. Ar narn le hul tor dun you, agus might dun ar fecta, mar a waihamid dar vect in a fian, ac the lection a gahu, ac seer shina ulk. Amen. Nanya manahar gzavek or spirit neve. Amen. So welcome to the show, everybody. How's it going? Any news with you? Any crack in the live chat? Please let me know. Cade Mila Falls says, Booker T, what about you? Good man. Thanks for joining us. So we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Instagram, actually. I think I'm live on Instagram. So welcome to the show if you're watching on Instagram. Shauna says, hi, Niall. In Galway tonight, see Christmas markets. Good stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying the markets, Shauna. Siobhan says, grooming gangs in Armagh in the late 90s. Was messaging you. Right, okay. I don't know. Where did you message me, Siobhan? If it's on Instagram, like I honestly get hundreds and hundreds of messages every day, and it kind of goes into a spam system, and I don't respond to them, to be honest with you. I get that many. Rory McGinnis says, "How dare I say Merry Christmas?" So it's good to see good interaction here on Instagram. The kid from Brooklyn says, "Hello to all my sons of St. Patrick." So good to see everybody in the live chat and Instagram. Let's go to Facebook. What's happening over there? Lisa Marie, good to see you. Nobby, what about you? Good man. Jerome Reddy, good to see you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good man, Jerome. Any news on the mosque in Letterkenny? No, it's got planning approval. We have been campaigning here. We've campaigned a couple of times. Like whenever I get time, we try to organise a number of people to hit the streets, go door to door. In Letterkenny, we've got leaflets. Thanks to everyone for supporting us in that. And unfortunately, the majority of people in Letterkenny don't know about this mosque being built in Letterkenny. Now, work has not started, but it's got full planning approval. You know, it's so how do you describe this? So like, I've been knocking on a lot of doors, and one of the people right beside where this mosque is going to be built, right, these boomer couples. And the man answers the door, right? I'm not going to say who it is, of course. But I said, look, my name's Dan McConnell, and just want to inform you about there's going to be a mosque built beside you. I said, oh, no, I have no objection to it. So, right, okay, fair enough. He said, I have no problem with it at all. You know, these people are welcome here. All this nonsense. And I mean, like, the mosque is 20 yards from him. Right on top of him, and he has no problem with it at all. And he's got a good view of Letterkenny. Beautiful view, but the mosque was to be put right in front of his house. And that there's what you're dealing with sometimes. You know, you do get some of that, but the majority of people do not know it's happening, and they are not happy what's happening to their country. So make that of what you will. Yeah, he is a boomer, and his boomer wife too were there tutting and in disgust that I would dare come to their door trying to educate people, and that the fact that I had, you know, any opposition to this proposed mosque. So there's another mosque, an application in Clondalkin in there, like 1,000-person mosque. So we're going to be trying to oppose that as well. Right, okay. Yeah, they won't be saying that when 5 times here in the call to prayer. Yeah, absolutely. This is what's going to happen. You call them yuppies here. Yeah. Stephen O'Neill says, wait till the bells go off 5 times a day, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, you're right there, Stephen. I wonder if that the Stephen O'Neill who used to play for Tyrone. I doubt it, but if it is, you're welcome. Stephen O'Neill, I'm sure it's a very common name. Rory McGinnis says, how are you and your views received in your local town? I'm from Castlefin, County Donegal. And so almost 6 years ago, I ran in the general election in 2020. Now, if you remember at the time, if you were following me back then, like I was very hard-lined on immigration, kind of talking about the same stuff that I'm talking about now. I was saying mass deportations, deport all foreign criminals. I want to keep Ireland an Irish country. This is our country. And, you know, I predicted that every town, village in Donegal, not only Donegal, but in Ireland, will be filled with foreigners. And people laughed at me. And people kind of mocked and ridiculed me at the time. Not only in Castlefin, all over Donegal. But as the years have gone by, and now we're entering 2026, people have changed their tune massively. You know, I was at a wedding there not so long ago, and a fella came up to me. I'm not going to say who he is. He's from Ballybuffet, and he came up and shook my hand, right? He was saying, Niall, I used to be saying terrible things about you behind your back. I used to call you all sorts of names. Do you know what, Ty? You've been proven 100% correct. It is happening everywhere now. You said the foreigners would be filled in every single town, and everyone laughed at you. But he says, we're not laughing anymore. It's happening. In my local area here, I'm from Castlefin, filled with foreigners. Up the road there, in Ballybuffet, Stranraer, the twin towns, filled with foreigners. Convoy from there, heading towards Rafo, filled with foreigners. In Rafo, they've just got a load of them there now. Back down to Lifford again. There's an old hotel down there filled with foreigners. So in my wee area alone, it's just rammed to the teeth, and people are starting to wake up now. And it's not only my electoral area in Stranraer, Lifford area, it's the whole of Donegal, but that's microcosm. It's the whole of Ireland, the whole of the Western world, all of Europe. And we've been talking about this for a long time. I've been talking about this for over 10 years. So that's what people think now in my local town. Yeah. As Sean Mack says, it's every village and town in Ireland has been planted with immigrants. Of course it is. It's an invasion. This isn't immigrant. I need to correct myself. I keep calling this immigration. It's not immigration. It's an invasion. Finian says, Finian CXNT, Finian, I think you know what you're trying to say there, but you're putting an X in front of it. Says, globalist Zionist agenda, why are we getting flooded? Nothing will change it. Yep, I agree 100%. Yeah. I am not a Zionist. People are upset that I say it, but I'm not a Zionist. 100%. I've never been a Zionist, never supported Zionism. You need a president that has the McGregor spirits, his big sky. Well, the problem is the president has no control, no authority in Ireland. It's more of a figure, or what's the word I'm trying to look for here? He has no power. He goes to conferences, gives a wee speech, but he has no actual authority, no power. Would I run against his Phil McCracken? Can I name that Phil McCracken? Phil McCracken, yes. You will get caught out on this when you're doing live streams by trolls, but I've run in 2020, I've run in 2025, and I'll probably run again, when the time comes. It's about raising awareness. It's about raising awareness. Letterkenny has changed so much, I know. Yep, in the 1960s, Los Angeles were people of European heritage. Today, in 2025, we are the minority. Well, I remember seeing a video recently of Los Angeles, California, downtown. It was a beautiful town, beautiful city, clean, European. Now it's a homeless, disgusting hellhole. True says, heard Dunfanaghy is getting an iPass. Never heard of it. If you have any information, please contact me maybe through Facebook. Send me a message through Facebook. Stephen McGuire says, Belfast is like India and Afghanistan now. That doesn't sound very good, does it? That doesn't sound good. I'm just reading live chat here. I believe you'll get voted on sooner rather than later. Well, I was very close in the local elections. Wasn't too far away. I was running for a councillor, but wasn't too far away. See, foreigners are allowed to vote in the local elections, and no, I don't know, but as a general too, but no local elections, they definitely are. All you have to be is a resident. No, I'm not saying you're a troll, Phil, but your your name kind of is a bit of a troll name. So I welcome to the show, everybody. Look, let's get in there. Z Hogan says, will you sing the national anthem later on? No, I'm alright. I have got a button to press here and the national anthem plays itself, so I don't need to be singing it. Greetings from Boston, says Stephen O'Neill. I don't think that's the Stephen O'Neill that you should play for Tyrone then. Hello from Castletown here, West Cork, same here also, and it's a very rural area, says Julie Flynn. It's a ceremonial position. Yeah, the presidency. Yeah, you're right there, Stephen. That's what you're talking about. So I got, I should say this every stream, but look, it really is an honor and a privilege to be able to broadcast from my hometown here of Castlefin, County Donegal. Well, I'm just a sheep farmer. I'm not the most articulate person. I'm not a, not a fantastic man with the words, but I love my country. I love my people, and I don't like the direction that it's going in. I'm not some kind of political whiz kid. I love my country. I love my people. I don't like the way it's going. I've got young children. I'm married, and I've got a stake in the game here. My children will have to grow up in this mess that we're being handed over to. So we're keeping our list, and just look, it's an honor, privilege to be here, and for you to be tuning in tonight. So we're like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, right? So look, anyway, enough me ranting and raving, right? Sean Mack says 275,000 Americans given naturalized Irish citizenship under Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil since 2011. See, this is the thing, right? Look, I'm no fan of Sinn Féin, as you all know, but the blame solely really lies with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. It really, really does. These are the real enemies of the Irish people. Now, of course, Sinn Féin do support immigration. Yes, of course, I'm no fan of them. I've done many, many videos about Sinn Féin protests outside their office. But Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael have destroyed Ireland. Gone-bean traitors that they are. They really, really have. They are going to turn us into an ethnic minority in our own country. You know what I mean? They really, really have, and they need to be called out at every single chance and every opportunity we have. They have to be called out. What have they done to our country? Yeah, whoever gives them Irish passports needs to be jailed. Well, like they've opened our borders to what end? To what end? Like, for our people to be a minority, a despised minority in our own country. Okay. Loyalty and honor is a rare thing. Like, people don't realize, like, when you do something like this, when you're a public figure like myself, Ireland's a small country, and particularly in small towns, like, everyone knows you, and you sacrifice a lot. I've sacrificed a lot that people don't know of, that I don't talk about. To speak out, you do put your neck on the line, and you do have to make certain sacrifices. That I don't talk about. I live in the border areas. I live 10 minutes from Strabane. Read between the lines. Hardline communist Republicans. And you don't really have to deal with that down south. You deal with it up here in the north. Don't really have to deal with that down the south. Armed groups. Let's just say that. So anyway, look, I keep rambling and chatting nonsense, but let's give it that. Okay, so look, for those of you new to the show, my name is Niall McConnell. We do broadcast Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, 8 p.m. We cover what's happening in Ireland, the news. Now, we do attend every single protest in Ireland. Now, over the winter time, things do quiet down a bit because it's cold, it's wet, it's windy. But for the majority of the year, we're attending all protesting all these immigrant centres, migrant centres, IPAS centres, and we have got a number of them stopped this year. So, it does work. We've got Ireland's only patriotic newspaper, The Irish Patriot, and we're trying to get the latest issue to print, actually. We're working on that right now. But, there's only so much we can do. We're trying to stop this mega mosque in Letterkenny as well. That's another thing we're putting a lot of time and effort into. So anyway, look. I know I seem to be in a rambling mood tonight. Okay, let's play this clip here, right? I've got a wee clip for you. Make sure everything's ready to go. Okay, so what button do I press here now? This one here. That one there, no. That's the job. Okay, so absolutely shameless. African woman living in Ireland says it's racist to focus on the fact that the migrant in custody for attacking a 10-year-old Irish girl is from Africa, and the real problem is actually male violence. Let's have a wee listen in here.
When the incident with City West happened, it was one of those when I had first read it and I held my breath and I was like, let it please not be an African person. And I knew straight away, like, that was even wrong saying it, but I was like, this is the reality of racism in Ireland, where it is subtle, and I knew straight away that once the identity was going to be revealed, every African migrant was going to be, again, categorized in the same brush for that. And I remember being on the bus for a minute and reading about it and going on TikTok and seeing the protest starting to happen, and it was like straight away it was like, get them out. And even on that bus I was very hyper aware, like, I'm the only black person on this bus, I shouldn't, like, make sudden movements, everything like that. And again, that was just like that reality of when something like this happens in Ireland, like, it's a racist incident, but again, you're on social media trying to like defend it in the sense of like, why are we focusing on the race of the individual? Should we not be talking about femicide in Ireland? Like, that's the issue. It is male violence against women and children.
These people have got some cheek. Imagine an African coming to Ireland, or a European going to Africa and lecturing the local indigenous people of the land. You know what I mean? Like, how do you deconstruct this, what she just said there? The first thing she said was, when the story came out, she was praying that it wasn't an African. So she immediately goes to race. If race is colorblind, if you're colorblind, why are you immediately going to your preferential race as the African people? These people are loyal to their own people. They're not loyal to Ireland. They're not loyal to the Irish nation. Of course not. What's the population of Africa? 1 point something billion people. And why is immigration only coming to Ireland and the rest of Europe? This is an invasion. This isn't immigration. And it's just utter gaslighting by these Africans, by these foreigners, to the Irish people. If you display any such thing as national pride or racial pride in your own people, you're called a racist. You're called a knuckle dragger. You're called an outsider. But I don't give a damn what they call me. I love my country. I love my people. And if my people are getting attacked, I will speak out. We will do something about it. And we're not going to be lectured by any African calling us names. Yep, you're 100% right, Sean. She is the racist. The friggin' cheeks is Booker T, absolutely. Please bring back the real IRA. You need them now or lose your country. Look, Shovelhead82, I guarantee you're American. Do you not know that, these so-called Republican groups are far left? They're against people like me. They're online calling me names, calling me racist and fascist and whatnot. The Irish Americans really need to wake themselves up. I get it in my comment section all the time. Bring back the IRA. Really? They hate people like me. They're like they support Antifa. Jerry Adams is pictured and Sinn Féin are selling Antifa memorabilia on their website. They protest us at anti-immigration rallies. They're up in Dublin there recently, screaming Sinn Féin against racism. Are you mental? What is wrong with you? Wake up. Anyway. So any questions in the live chat, please let me know. We're live Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Any questions, please let me know. Let me go here now. Let me click on my show on Twitter to see if there's any comments. Some titlement of these lots says Doom on Twitter. Yes, you're right there. Pray the rosary, guys. Yep, Catholic Faith Channel. You're 100% right. Pray the rosary every day. Can you pray the rosary live some night? It's not a bad idea. I'm not opposed to it at all. Not opposed to it at all. Okay, let's keep her. That's right. This button here, is it? Aye. The culprit here is the European Commission failing to defend small nations. Around 3,000 job losses for the Irish fishing industry as a result of the EU fishing quota agreement.
Agreement was reached on fishing opportunities for next year. Ahead of the annual negotiations, independent scientific research recommended quota reductions in shared stocks that would affect the Irish industry to the tune of €94 million. During the negotiations, a group of EU member states blocked Ireland from invoking a protection mechanism called the Hague Preferences. The mechanism was introduced almost 50 years ago to counter the impact of other EU nations accessing Irish waters. The cuts have been described as the darkest hour the sector has faced.
This is by far the darkest hour the Irish fishing industry has ever faced. The job losses are going to be in and around 3,000. The economic impact is 150 to 200 million in a 12-month period. The culprit, let's be clear, the culprit here is the European Commission failing to defend small nations.
It's an absolute disaster for the Irish industry, what happened over the course of the last 2 days in Brussels. You're talking anywhere from 14 to 20 days at sea for the whole year. And meanwhile, we'll be looking at our other EU member states who'll be fishing off the waters off here, and they'll be fishing all year round.
The Minister of State for Fisheries and the Marine was present for the negotiations.
I will be bringing forward with Minister Martin Hayden a memo to Cabinet very shortly that will set out the approach that we're going to take, which is the appointment of an independent chairman to steer a programme of financial supports to those communities in a way that will allow them to survive through these really difficult days ahead.
Fishing organisations say they intend to ask the government to legally challenge the blocking of the Hague Preferences for next year and what they described as a catastrophic outcome for the seafood sector. Shane O'Curran, RTE News, Killybeck.
Well, when you're a member of the European Union dictate to you what you're doing with your fishing rights or your fishing policies. We don't know control of our fishing policies. We got huge fishing trawlers, like in that video there, and Killybegs, taking huge amounts of fish, taking huge amounts of quota, while the Irish fisherman has to sit there and watch all the fish being taken by foreign trawlers. Ireland has the largest waters in Europe, but we give it all away to the European Union. It's an absolute disgrace. That's why we need to leave the European Union, get back control of our fishing industry, get back control of our immigration policy. No, get back to our own money. Maybe go back to the punt or a new Irish currency. The old currency was fantastic. So you let me know in live chat what you think. It's been going on since the 1970s, absolutely. Our politicians at the time sold us out, like Pat the Cope Gallagher and other traitors who sold us out to the European Union. This has been going on for a long, long time. This isn't a new thing. Yeah, Barbara says, the EU never defend Ireland. It's so painful to watch. I can only imagine what it's like to feel like. Yeah. What else is everybody saying? Let me go to Instagram quickly. Yeah, Duncan says Ireland is a dumping ground. Now that the working class has to pay for it, biggest regret in my life is not leaving for Australia when I had the chance. Ellis Gordon says the UK left the EU and it's not made a blind bit of difference. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They still have huge amounts of immigration. Nothing will change, unfortunately, until like-minded people make it into the government and local council strengthen numbers, though I fear we have gone too far to Sean. Ella says someone's making a lot of money, these immigrants. Yep. Leafy Hollywood says the people's voice is far and beyond heard at times. Social media or even media take the effective way. What you're doing now out on the streets and standing by the people is what we all need to stand by. Thanks very much. Why are Sinn Féin supporting this madness? Well, because they're a globalist political party as well. They're like, they're part of the World Economic Forum. They wear them United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. They support all the woke agendas. Like, they are not a grassroots movement. They are a completely internationalist, globalist political party. They make no mistake about it. They are not grassroots. They support membership of the European Union. They support mass immigration. They support murdering Irish children through abortion. They support the radical LGBT nonsense in schools. They are aligned with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael in all major policies. There's no difference in any of them. There really isn't. No, you'll see the theatre on the TV when they get up in the Parliament, the Dáil as they call it in Ireland, one side Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the other side, the opposition, roaring and shouting. You swear they're real enemies, but in reality, all the major policies they're all aligned on. So, you know what I mean. Niall, on all counts, no nation can ever be truly sovereign without economic sovereignty. Yeah, well, this is it. This is what I've been saying for well over a decade. If you're a member of the European Union, you've got no control, and we'll be covering an article later on the show about this. Yeah, Booker T says Norwegians taught me about how they have all our oil fields. Well, I know they have like a sovereign wealth fund where they tax these oil fields that they have, and it goes into like a sovereign wealth fund for the people, and they're a very wealthy nation. You know what I mean? Any questions in the live chat, please let me know. Is there no anti-communist Republican movement? Not armed. No, all the armed groups are all far left communists. No, the splinter groups. Okay. Hey Niall, keep up the good work. Says Spanish Chicken. All right. Okay. Very good. Thanks you, Spanish Chicken. Also, Irish oil they're using, right? Okay, I didn't know that. We sold it to them for nothing. That doesn't surprise me. Okay, so look, Christmas is coming up, everybody. If you want to support our work, there's a number of ways you can do so. We've got a brand new shop just launched there. Actually, better make this very clear here. If you want to get your butcher boxes, and if you want to get your Christmas butcher box delivered for Christmas, orders have to be in tonight, or early in the morning. Like I'll be sending my orders in 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. So make sure your orders are in before then. Delivery to Ireland, North and South, and England, Scotland, Wales. So Christmas butcher box. What do you get in it? You get turkey crown, streaky bacon, sausages, gammon, black pudding, white pudding, sausage meat, and Kerry gold butter. This is delivered to your front door. This is the Christmas butcher box. Anywhere in the island of Ireland. But if you want the Christmas box, you have to order by, I would say tonight, 6:30, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when I'll be putting the order in for the butcher, and they'll be dispatched this coming Tuesday for delivery Wednesday. Now, if you don't want a Christmas box, you can also get a beef or lamb box. Remember, there was a big so-called hit piece by the mainstream media on me a couple of weeks ago, attacking me because I was having the cheek to sell meat boxes. So we have beef, lamb, and pork, and our Christmas boxes available. Delivery Ireland, all 32 counties, next day delivery in a beautiful like a chilled box with freezer gel packs to keep the meat cold. It's as fresh as a daisy. Now, there's another thing I need to talk about more. It's guaranteed non-halal, guaranteed Donegal beef, lamb, or pork, or turkey. So it's guaranteed coming from Donegal. It's not halal. It's not Brazilian. So you're guaranteed Irish Donegal beef, lamb, or pork delivered to your front door. You cannot beat it, and it's good quality. It's only the good quality. It's the finest quality, not only in Ireland but the whole world. Unfortunately, we don't ship to the US. I think Ireland, the US has banned Ireland from importing meat. Can you believe it? So if you want to get it, get your orders in now. There's a link in the description. If you're watching on Instagram, click the link in my bio, the homepage. Order now. You will get your meat box this coming Wednesday. Now, if you don't want meat, there's other ways you can support us as well. Let me go to the homepage here. Look, the Shield and Heron Regatta jackets, they're proving very popular this Christmas. Really, really high quality. I've been wearing mine now for 6 years. The exact same jacket that you see in my videos. Haven't changed it. You get this fleece lining. It's got a hood. It's got really good pockets. It's got inside pocket. Really high quality. Beautiful. Can't beat it. That's a regatta jacket. That's in our shop. What else have we got? We've got Irish language books. We've got the trio here. A 3-in-1. We've got the grammar book, the verb book, and the day-by-day book. We've got the Irish turf peat incense burner. People from America love that because you get little peat turf bricks and you light it. And it's like makes the room smell of turf. And we've got the Dewey Reams Holy Bible. Ireland is full stickers. Ireland flag, badges, brown scapulars, handbook for the New Fenian, Catholic/Christian posters. What else have we got here? This page will load. We've got Vandalising Ireland, Owen Lenahan's book. Now, it's signed. It's the only place you'll get it signed. So, Vandalising Ireland by Dr. Owen Lenahan. The only way you can get a signed book is from our shop. He signed it himself, Dr. Owen Lenahan. Prayers of the Gael. The Gael and Glory bundle. The Ultimate Fenian collection. Irish history books. Irish religious collections. The Broken Harp. The Coming Revolution. Got lots of stuff there, right? So check out our shop, support our work, boycott Amazon, support Irish nationals, and support our work. But now, if you want your orders for Christmas, I would order them now. Even if you want to book for Christmas, you gotta order tonight. Get your orders in. Link is in the description, or link is in the bio. Okay. What else have we got in store for you for now? Just reading some comments here. So what else have we got here now for you? This one's a good one here. So, Ireland is a land of miracles. 5,200 more new to the parish are given Irish citizenship at ceremonies in County Kerry.
Now, the first of 6 citizenship ceremonies is underway in County Kerry today, with over 5,200 people set to receive their certificates of naturalisation over 2 days. Applicants from 132 countries and across all 32 counties on the island of Ireland will make a declaration of fidelity and loyalty to the state at ceremonies in the INEC in Killarney. Since the ceremonies first began 14 years ago, some 222,000 people have received Irish citizenship.
I'm working in the Bonsecore Hospital. I'm a staff nurse there. I'm newly hired as clinical nurse manager 1. And Ireland is a great opportunity for me. The people has been so kind to me, and there's a land of kind of miracles.
Living in Ireland for most of my life, so it's a big special day. My brother here, he was actually born here, so just trying to join the family basically.
And I keep on saying this, I decided to stay here because the biggest wealth that I found in this country was Irish people.
Well, they're giving out these Irish citizenships like chocolate sweets, eh? Unbelievable. The Irish will become a minority. This madness has to be stopped. Let me know in the live chat what you think. I saw a comment there on Instagram. Where's it now? I don't know, it was a woman, Connie, still waiting on my membership pack. Sorry, there's a backlog of membership packs. Sorry about that. They will be sent out tomorrow. They're already done up. They'll be sent out tomorrow. So apologies for the delay in the membership packs. See, one item goes out of stock in the membership pack. You have to wait until it comes back in stock and then get it all set out. It'll be sent out tomorrow. So thanks very much for your patience, Connie. Have you got access to raw sheep milk? Technically, yes, but from the ewe, from the sheep, we don't milk the ewe and drink it. But I do have access. I do drink raw dairy, like a raw cow's milk. We actually drink that a lot. Yes. Let me know in the live chat. Does anybody drink raw milk? Does anybody drink anything else interesting? I like to drink raw milk. I like making raw kefir. Something I got into. I've been into that for quite a while now, for the last 7 or 8 years. My weans love it. Kefir. What else? Make Greek yogurt is quite good too. Very easy to make. Yeah, I get raw milk and raw Snila. Where do you get the raw milk, Frank Carr? Because I never... Have you ever went to an Irish shop where like they're selling raw milk beside the friary? Really? Is it in the shop, or is it a farmer? And you want to know something interesting? Every Friday we always eat fish in this house, and I normally make fish and chips on a Friday, but the key is, for us anyway, you gotta cook the fish or deep fry the fish in either tallow or lard. Ideally, lard tastes the best, believe it or not, because the seed oil is not very good for you, is it? But I can get in my neck of the woods, you can get the fat, or the pork fat, or the beef fat, or the suet for free, and you just render it down, turn it to tallow. That's the key if you want to make fish and chips. And the batter is very easy to make too. Just milk and flour for the batter. Lovely. But anyway, this Friday I made something different. I made a dish called, what do you call it? Fish gratin, haddock, but I made it a haddock gratin. Haddock. So what was in it? It was like haddock on the dish, and then a mixture of, there was like a saucy kind of thing, like a cream, double cream, cheddar cheese, spring onion, nutmeg, salt and pepper, and then like parboiled potatoes, like small potatoes. You put that, and then cherry tomatoes, and you put that in the oven for about 45 minutes. Very nice. Any word from the Carmelite nuns? No, I haven't. I need to reach out to them. But they always write for my papers, so I haven't spoke to them in a few months. So I fish gratin, that's a new dish I made recently. Very, very good. So I like to cook. I'm a good cook, I think. Yeah, and chowder too is another dish I make. I like to make a good chowder, either cod or haddock. But now, when you're getting fish right, key is to get it wild caught. It has to be wild caught, can't be farmed. We've got good access to fish here, to be fair, from Kellybegs or Greencastle. What else? I'm trying to think what else did I make recently regarding good dishes. Well, my wife says my fish and chips is if not one of my best dishes. I do make good fish and chips. But I think my most intricate dish I can make is, I do like Italian food. Homemade ravioli, everything made from scratch, like the pasta, the filling, etc. I make homemade ravioli. It takes a lot of time, but it's very, very good. I make good fish and chips too. Hopefully you cook it in tallow or lard. Yeah, IPA beer too. If you're making the batter, yep, beer batter, that's quite good. Can you get haggis? No, I've never had haggis. It's very difficult to get, I think. So or pork lard, yeah. I think chips taste best. From our own potatoes. No, a neighbour has potatoes. We get them off him. But we know everything's made by ourselves. And we do our best, to shop or to buy produce from local areas. No, it's impossible to do it all, but we do in the majority bulk stuff. We do the bulk of our buying or produce, whatever is from the Northwest. Legend, keep up the great work. P.S. Can I get some of your beef? Yeah, the beef box is in the description. If you're from Ireland or UK, you can get it delivered to your front door. Yes. Good Carrageen in Kilcar. Have you been up to the Chowder restaurant, Ballyliffin, Nancy's? No, I have not. There's a Chowder restaurant. I don't think I've been to any. I don't get up to Ballyliffin that often. It's quite far away from me. Open a small restaurant on your farm. Be like, what do you call your man? Boy in the UK. Jeremy Clarkson. Anyway, look, enough of me yapping there. So, the best fish and chips you'll get is in Killybegs, the seafood shack. They're fantastic. I don't know if anybody in the live chat has ever eaten out of there. No political affiliation. I don't know anything about them, but I've eaten there, and they're excellent. Now they've been moved off the main road. They've been freaking moved up into a back road. The council made them move. So why? Seafood shack in Killybegs. Very, very good. Yeah, the Banks Raban, great restaurant. I must say that is a great restaurant, the Banks in Strabane. Again, I don't know anything about them, never spoke to them, but the food is fantastic. Best restaurant about, by far. If you're up in the northwest, whole of Donegal, whole of Tyrone. Now, it isn't Tyrone, across the border, but the Banks in Strabane, definitely. Again, don't know anything about them, never spoke to them. But the burger is fantastic. You don't absorb the mercury when you eat the fish raw. I've never eaten. Oh well, I was going to say, I don't like raw fish. They are family members. Thanks for the shout out. Now, no, the restaurant's really good. I must say, I've been in there a good few times. The Banks, taking family there. Good restaurant. Okay. Let's get back to reality here. Back to the reality here, right? Me, Hall Martin. Now Taoiseach on video in 2020 talking about overturning deportation orders of illegal immigrants to the UK in order to keep them in Ireland. Let's listen to this, boy.
And that's why recently I was behind a campaign behind The scenes working, for example, there's 3 students in Cork were facing deportation, for the want of a better word, to the UK. And we managed to get a stay on that, and so that their asylum now will be assessed in Ireland as opposed to the United Kingdom. The crisis we now have is, I think there's about up to 800 who could leave direct provision, but they've no housing. And so the housing crisis is now combined with this to create a deeper crisis. The Department of Justice probably were traditional in their view, let's get it in first and make it a fait accompli and we'll get away with it kind of thing. That's over. You have to be upfront and you have to consult with people and say, here's why we're doing this. It's interesting, you know, when I was in the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, I remarked on this at the time, we were getting letters from Gort in County Galway, from the sergeant and the parish priest, not to go near the Brazilians and to leave them. There was quite a number had come over to the meat factories. And it was an opposite. We don't want them moved out of, and I think they were on tourist visas, I'd say at the time.
You know, what a despicable human being. The leader of the country supports the destruction of Ireland, supports open borders, mass immigration, deport them now, mass deportations immediately. That's what the Irish people want. So there you go, this leader of Ireland, leader of our country. Unbelievable. So it's good to see so many people in the live chat. I suppose I spend a bit more time chatting to the live chat this time. Normally I'm just rattling through videos and stuff, but it's good to see us in the live chat and maybe speak to us a bit more instead of me just being robotic and speaking about videos and articles and ranting and raving. The Gardaí are telling Martin not to deport illegal immigrants living in Gort. What a joke. Yep, what a joke was right, Sean. So look, just if you want to get something good for Christmas for a loved one, don't forget our shop. Boycott the mainstream, boycott Amazon, support our shop now. There's a link in the bio to order from our shop. Get all sorts of wonderful books, but also the butcher boxes. If you want to get your butcher box for Christmas, you have to order tonight or by 7 a.m. 6:30, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Make sure you get your order in if you want it this week. We'll be closed for a Christmas break. So get your orders in now. Christmas box, you get gammon, turkey, bacon sausages, black pudding, white pudding, sausage meat, etc. Get your orders in now. And beef boxes, lamb boxes, pork boxes, non-halal, guaranteed Donegal beef, lamb, pork and turkey delivered to your front door anywhere in Ireland, UK, all 32 counties of Ireland and England, Scotland, Wales. So order now. Link in the description or link in the bio, no matter where you're watching. Support our work now. Okay, everybody, that's it for me tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Niall McConnell, tuning in and streaming from Castlefin, County Donegal. So if you're new to the show, please subscribe. We broadcast Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays at 8 p.m. We'll be live again Tuesday. And we really appreciate all your support. Shout out to Dennis Deary in Milford. He is 55 today. Happy birthday, Dennis, from Milford. We've had many battles down in Milford when I was playing for Robert Emmett's Castlefin. I remember there was two boys, two very good footballers down there, the Curly brothers, and they were great footballers. And Milford's a good footballing town. So that's it, everybody, for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Niall McConnell. Once again, we'll see you all again on Tuesday at 8 p.m. God bless you all. Aaron go bra.